I'm closing out this hot earnings week with a whole bunch of good charts because there's still a lot of people reporting and there's still a lot of people that, companies that have the really good earnings track record. So don't be bored now that Amazon, Google, and all of those big names are done because there's still quite interesting earnings still to come. And I have a teaser for you for next week that you might want to stick around to see at the end of this video. So let's jump off with our first stock. This is a big name that I've talked about before on the Earnings All-Stars, but they finally did miss. Every once in a while we get one of these ones that keeps beating year after year after year. It's so consistent as Kroger has been. Finally, we got the miss. So maybe they got a little bit of the monkey off their back, the pressure to beat every quarter, because it's still a lot of pressure for these companies. So they're coming off that miss. I think, usually companies rebound after they have this great record and they miss once, but we'll have to see. Shares have been trending in this narrow range because it was just such a great rally. Seems like these supermarket chains and the stocks that go along with them have been taking a breather for a while. So we'll see if there's any change in the story, but still got to like Kroger here. Our next stock is a retailer that you don't hear much about, but Burlington Stores has really been crushing it. The last 2 quarters have been really, really big beats. They don't just sell coats. A lot of people think Burlington, because of its old name, Burlington Coat Factory, is all about coats, but they do a lot of apparel along with the coats now. And as you can see, no misses since that 2013 IPO. You gotta kind of like it, so you might hate the retailers, but if you're looking for one to trade, keep this one on your list. And then our third stock recently changed its name. It's now called American Outdoor Brands. AOBC is the ticker, but we all know it as Smith & Wesson, the gun manufacturer. So that's why they've got this great record, no misses in all of these years. But we've also had record gun sales since President Obama got into office. Gun sales have taken off. They didn't really fall back at all in the 8 years he was president, but some of the other gun manufacturers are reporting that sales are down pretty sharply since President Trump was elected. So we'll see what American Outdoor Brands says, if it's more of the same, and what their plan will be to rev up growth now that it looks like the consumer might be pulling back in this area. This will be an interesting one to watch. And then we're getting a lot of restaurant stocks this week, and Wingstop is one of the ones that hasn't missed out of this group. The shares are all over the place since its 2015 IPO. 2015 was the year of the restaurant IPO. Don't know if you remember, but there was maybe half a dozen to a dozen restaurant names that went public that year, including Wingstop. This one isn't as well known as some of the others. It is growing rapidly, so be sure to check out the same-store sales when this one reports. That's almost just as important as the earnings miss or beat. And then I'm going to give you this little teaser one because I'm actually not going to be able to do a video next week, but I couldn't resist. It's Ulta. It's possibly the biggest, most dynamic retailer out there right now, Ulta Beauty. Just the one miss in 2013, and then the shares have been off to the races. I actually own this in my personal portfolio, but the real question with them is how can they keep doing it? Their comps have not just been high, they've been double digits high, and even better than most of the analysts could ever envision. They're coming off this holiday season. Was it as good as everybody hopes? The stock is kind of indicating it's so, because it's gotten up to those new highs, but it's going to have to be real good. This is one of the ones that's priced for perfection. It has been for a couple quarters now, but they've been producing. So if they keep coming through with those double-digit comps, I feel like we're going to see further run in these shares. But this is going to be one everyone's going to be watching for next week. So be sure to keep this one on your radar at the end of next week. So there's still a lot of good companies still to report. As you can see, a lot of these have only missed once, maybe twice in the last 5 years. That's really hard to do. So even, I got to give a pass to Kroger. They had that great record, just the one miss last quarter, but it's not easy to do. So keep all of these on your radar. I'm bringing them to you every week. We will be winding down on earnings season coming up, though. So it's going to slow down going forward from here. But if the charts are good, I'm going to bring them to you. So be sure to tune in. And if you want to know any of the options trades on any of these, and I have a feeling my colleague Dave Bartosiak, who covers these over on Zacks Live Trader, I have a feeling he's going to be covering that Ulta trade. He hasn't told me yet, but I think he probably will. So if you want to know the options trade on any of these, check out Zach's Live Trader over on YouTube, and Dave will give you all the scoop on that. So until next time, I'll see you then.